Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Your Visionary Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Brown, also known as Visionary CJ, and today we have another special episode for you. So, as you can see, I don't have a guest with me today, but still, today will be a great episode, and we're going to stick with the topic of talking about mental health. And so, for the past month, this whole season, I've been talking about the power of mental health, but more specifically, how to find peace through mental health. And so today I plan to do the same just by talking about a topic that has helped me in my mental health journey this year. And so the topic for today's episode is how to build a routine for better mental health. Welcome back to another episode of Your Visionary Podcast. Your Visionary Podcast. Your Visionary Podcast. Your Visionary Podcast. Visionary Podcast.
Welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. This podcast is specifically for you and your vision. Get ready to grow. Let's go.
How to build a routine for better mental health. And so I'll be giving 3 examples or 3 things that you can do moving forward to help you build a routine that will help you strengthen your mental health. And so before I start, I want to just to let you know that I'm in a place called Station F right now. If you're watching this via video, then you can see the background. I am in Paris, and Station F is the largest startup campus in Paris. Over 3,000 startups here. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them for having this beautiful space and letting me be a part of it. And let's get into it, the 3 things. And so the first step to building a better routine for mental health is to assess who you're following, right? Assess who you're following. So basically that means take a look at all of your social media platforms and then really look at who you're following, right? Because the people that you're following, they're giving you content and they're giving you energy throughout the day, right? So if you're following accounts or following people that bring you negativity or leads to distractions, then that's affecting your mental health and it's affecting how you go about your day. And so I suggest doing it really like every month or every 3 months, just looking through the follower count of all your social media and see if the people you're following are good for you or if they're bad for you. And if they don't benefit your mental health or benefit you on your journey, then just unfollow them. It'll help you out in the long run. And so step number 2 is to set boundaries with your technology, right? Set boundaries. And so I will be transparent. Since I've been in Paris, I've been a little off at times in terms of just not being fully focused. And for a while, I didn't really know why. And I think I didn't even realize that I was off focus, but my routine was wrong. So whenever I woke up in the morning, I would just instantly look at my phone, check my email, or scroll on social media. And it led to me being in bed for longer and starting my day later. And by the time I started my day, the tone for my day was already set because of the hour I spent on my phone. And a lot of the times that hour, it was just idle time. It wasn't really productive time I was spending on my phone. And so in order to change that, I had to set a boundary for myself. And so I started waking up in the morning, and instead of picking up my phone to look at social media or check my email, I picked up my phone and I listened to a 15-minute guided meditation every morning. And so ever since I started doing that, my entire days have been shifting for the better. Now I wake up and I instantly just get positive motivation and positive information, and that sets the tone for my day. And so whenever I do that, I end up having a positive day. And so I think the same will work for you if you're struggling with spending too much time on your phone, or if you're doing what I was doing and waking up, checking your phone first thing in the morning. Although it may not feel bad or may not feel like it's unproductive, just try to switch that for a couple of days, right? Try to be intentional about not getting on your phone when you wake up in the morning. And I guarantee you it'll help you have better days and be more productive. And so the last step, the last thing you can do to build a routine for better mental health is to just do frequent check-ins with yourself. And so our last episode, we talked with Dina Kassab, who is a psychologist based in Paris, France. And she sees a lot of patients. She works for like 5 different mental health startups. And so she has a wide variety of experience. And the one thing she talks about is the importance of doing an introspection process, right? And basically, an introspection process means just taking a look inside and asking yourself the hard questions, right? Like, how am I feeling? Why do I feel like this? How do I want to feel? Right? And that's really the first step to understanding, your current state of mental health, but also understanding where you want to be. And so one way to build a routine for bettering your mental health is to just set a weekly check-in or a monthly check-in, no matter how frequent it is. Just make sure that you're taking the time out of your day to really check in with yourself, do the introspection process, and see how you're feeling, right? See how you're feeling, because one thing that I've learned just through this mental health journey is that you are the only expert on you, right? You're the only one who spends 100% of time with yourself. You talk to yourself the most. And so it's important that you really understand who you are and how you're feeling. And so if you do those three things that I suggested, I hope that they will help you to build a better routine for your mental health. And before I end this episode, I just want to say that this podcast and this episode, this season of Your Visionary Podcast is sponsored by Blemish. And Blemish is a mental wellness ecosystem that me and friends of mine are building out in Paris. And the goal is simple, right? The goal is to help human beings better their mental health through the innovative use of technology. And so what we're doing is we're trying to build a virtual ecosystem, a virtual world where people feel comfortable, people feel safe, and people feel encouraged when it comes to bettering their mental health and really understanding why they feel the way they do, why they think the way they do, and how they can be their best self in the world. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and leave a review and a like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening. But thank you again for listening and watching Your Visionary Podcast. See you all on the next episode. Peace and love.